Yo, can the baby boomers stop complaining about the holes in my jeans and fix the holes in this economy? Like, why is it so hard to find a job? Why? For those of you that don't know, I was doing co-op for the last 4 months. And yesterday was my last day, and I'm very sad because now I'm going back to school when everyone else is coming back. Anyways, I just finished my last day at work yesterday. I know university kids are done, or most of them, and they're looking for jobs, and high school kids will be done in 2 months, and they'll be looking for jobs. So the whole idea of finding employment has been running in my head, and I decided I wanted to make a story time video of the time that I messed up so bad, like so bad trying to find a job twice in a row. But if you guys want to know how I almost got myself into massaging old hairy balls, yeah, you heard me right. If you thought that you heard me wrong, you did it. I almost got myself into massaging old hairy balls, and then right after that, I almost lost 5 grand just trying to find a job. I just finished first year of university. First time I was having a 4 month vacation. I was 18. I was trying to be an adult, okay? And I'd been working since I was 15, but the only thing was I never found a job myself. Like, my mom worked at a warehouse, she got me hired there. It was at the end of the year, we had exams going on, and we would also try to find jobs. So, of course, when I took my 5 hour breaks, I didn't apply to jobs because I have to go on Netflix and Tumblr, like, let's calm down. So I didn't take that time to apply to jobs, and I had 2 weeks left, and I was freaking out because I knew that if I came home without a job, I was gonna get my ass beat. So my cousin introduced me to this app called Indeed. He was like, I found my last 3 jobs off this app. It's super simple, very easy, do your thing. So every day I applied to like 5 or 6 jobs. I would just refresh the page, and whatever seemed like I would be able to learn really quickly, or like I could do it, no problem, I just applied. And I did this for about 2 weeks. Now I think I had like 2 more exams left, and I was hanging out with one of my friends and we were studying, and I got a call. So I picked up the phone call and they're like, hey, like, you applied to us on Indeed. We're interested in like booking an interview and seeing you and all this stuff. We book an interview time, everything's going good, and we're just about to hang up. And right before I hang up, they say, by the way, can you send us 2 pictures to this email address? And I was like, hold up, let me get a pen. What? Let me get a pen. Let me write down the freaking email address so I can send you those. I'm so done with 18-year-old me. Like, I'm so stupid. Why? So I send these pictures to them at like 9 p.m. So we continue on studying, and it's about 10 p.m. And then I start thinking, I'm like, wait, where is this place? Because I don't have a car. I'm going to be commuting to this place. So I was like, I should check up the address. Now, the only smart thing that I did was trying to check this address through the actual Indeed page. And so I go onto Indeed, they have a hyperlink posted on their like job description thing as to like their website. So I click on it, and this website for like a salon and spa opens up. And like in like a couple of seconds, it redirects me to a page that is also for a salon and spa, but also has special services, if you know what. Yeah, like, this didn't make it obvious. Okay. At that point, I was like, what? Like, what did I get myself? What? So I show my friend this. I'm like, hey, look at this. Look what I just got myself into. And she's like, wait, let me check it out too. So she actually Googles the name. When you Google it, it just shows up at the salon and spa page. Like, we waited a couple of minutes and it did not redirect us to anywhere. So it's like 10 p.m. I'm like, okay, I need to like cancel this interview. Like, I'm not working here. No shade to people that are working there, but I am not emotionally or mentally, and quite frankly, visually prepared. So basically, I call them first thing in the morning at 8 a.m. and some lady that I didn't speak to the last time picks up, and I'm like, please keep your balls to yourself. But I'm like, hey, I booked an interview yesterday. I need to cancel it. She's like, that's weird because I'm the one that books interviews and I didn't book any yesterday. And I was like, okay, well, I don't know. Like, I got a call. They said that they wanted me to come in this time, this date. Just cancel it. So she's like, oh, okay, like I'll cancel it. But I'm pretty sure, like, you know, there was no interview on her schedule. She just said that so I'd hang up. But anyways, I just figured that there are some employees that are trying to make a side income without letting the actual people know, which is hella sketchy. But then, I messed up right after it. Right after it again. So for those of you that don't know, I'm actually doing accounting, and I was trying to also look for some accounting jobs. So I'm back home now. I still don't have a job. It's been a week since I've been home. My parents are all up in my case. I'm still applying every day. Now I'm like literally also calling 5 agencies every single day. And I get an email. I think this was a week after I came back, right? And they're like, hey, like you applied to us on Indeed. We looked at 200 resumes. We picked 5 people out of it. You were one of those people. And I was like, hey, like 5 out of 200? Goddamn. So I opened up the job description page, and it tells me that it's a part-time job. You work from home. Basically, what I would be doing is, okay, so they were saying that they're an international company, and basically they have trouble, or it costs them a lot to like send money out to different countries from like where they are, but so that they have people in every single country like sending money to different places so that it doesn't cost them that much. So what they told me was that all I would be doing is going to the bank, and they would deposit money into my bank like through direct deposit, and I would have to cash it out and mail it out somewhere else because it would be cheaper that way. Is this an actual job? Do I know that? The salary was $2,000 a month, and I got 5% of whatever they put into my direct deposit. A little too good to be true, right? So I'm hell excited. I'm like, hey, they want me out of 200 people. I'm fit for this job. It is part-time. Also, I get a lot of moolah. I emailed them back. I'm like, yeah, I'm completely interested. Sign me up. But because I had that experience with the salon, I decided to Google this place. Now I Googled it and I didn't find anything bad, but I didn't find anything good. Almost as if they never existed. That should have been a clue. That should have been a clue. They sent me back a contract, and they're like, okay, so this is the contract, sign it, scan it back to us. So I scan the contract, send it back to them. I get a call back. They're like, hey, like you're still interested, right? And I'm like, yes. And they're like, okay, like you'll be getting your first task today at like 12 p.m. So I'm waiting for my email, whatever. They send me an email. They're like, hey, send us your banking information so that we can deposit all this money into your bank account. They deposited, I think, $5,000 into my account. So they're like, okay, now go take that money out. This is the address. Now I get to the bank and I'm like, hey, I need $5,000, okay? Teller looks at me and she's like, when did you open your account? And I'm like 3 hours ago. And she's like, okay, like, what do you need this money for? Oh, and in the email they had mentioned, they had said, if someone asks you what this money is for, tell them it's for personal use. And I found that really sketchy because I was like, well, who are you to tell me what to do? No. So the teller asked me, and I'm like, okay, like I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna tell her like, why do I need to lie, right? It's a legit job, whatever. So I'm like, I'm working at this place. This is what they want me to do, and that's what I need the money for. So she's like, oh, okay, give me a second. So she goes to the back room, and I'm assuming she's bringing out my money. But she actually brings out her manager instead. The manager starts talking to me, and she's like, okay, so yeah, what do you need this money for? And I explain it to her, and she's like, honey, that's not a real job. And I'm like, what? And she's like, we've had 8 cases in the past week where the same thing happened, and it was a fraud. A fraud? Like, how does a fraud work? And she's like, basically, they deposit this money into your account as a number, but they don't actually have the funds to back it up. So when you cash it out and send this money to them, they now have the money in cash. But how does this work? You don't actually have this fund in your account, and you just cashed it out, which means you are now actually at negative $5,000, which means you personally owe the bank. That's horrible. Do not do that to children. They specifically target like university and high school students because they know they're gonna fall for this shit, and because it sounds way too good to be true, and we're desperate for money because we have like high maintenance and lifestyles. So I go back home, I tell my mom, I tell my dad, I was like, oh my god, like thank god I got out of that one. That was just luck. So yeah, I get home and they're like, hey, are you sending the money? And I stop replying to them. Like I completely stop replying. And they're like, you have our money. We can call the feds on you. We can call the police. You signed a contract. You took our money and now you're not returning it. Blah, blah, blah. And I think after like 3 or 4 emails, they got the hint. They realized I figured out what was going on. And then they stopped contacting me. But that was the scariest thing ever. I deleted the app. I was like, I am not using that app. Now I know it works for some people. Clearly did not work for me at all. Now, I know summer is coming up. We all have bills to pay. We have school to pay for. We have ourselves to pay for. I know we need money and we're desperate for it. But please be careful when finding jobs. Do not just apply to whatever. Do your research, even if it takes a little bit of time. Using those 10 minutes is way better than losing $5 grand. Make sure you do your research and do not be stupid like me.